why don't we just start rounding third? Because this is my rounding third. It's all
Well,
interconnected. So
before we get into rounding
because
third, I'd let you know that rounding third is brought to you by Tick Pick. For those of you who don't know how rounding third works, basically you throw out a take, and it is called safe or out. You are never out when you use Tick Pick. You say, there you go. You like that? No fees on your tickets. As we said earlier, use code 161 to get $10 off. This upcoming series against the Royals, not a single ticket over $21. Well, as far as the cheapest ones go, obviously you could pay more for that, but the cheapest tickets all around $21. Go on places like StubHub, stuff like that. You're going to be paying that just in fees. So go ahead
Boom.
on your rounding third, Luke.
So I was just saying, with the Mike King injury, the question looms: what does this mean for the team? Obviously, we have Mike King-sized shoes to fill. We just mentioned his entire season-long stats and what he's been doing recently. Big shoes to fill, a lot of usage to fill. I think, and I was a big proponent of going after Soto, and there's more and more rumors nowadays that he is going to be moved. There's just a million different reasons why they should, but now it's actually looking like they really will. The Yankees did check in on him, but at the end of the day, after this Mike King injury and combine that with the Luis Severino injury, I'm starting to see the board more closely to what Chandler was saying before this. So I'm saying now, because of this, out of necessity, yeah, would I like to have Juan Soto on the team? Absolutely, but there's a lot more holes, and when other people potentially regress back to the mean, or if not the mean, but regress, because it could happen, or other people get hurt, we really need to re-bolster this bullpen and rotation. And I think if we go for Juan Soto, that's gonna be it, and that's obvious. It's not what I think. It's gonna be the biggest trade in the history of baseball. So, with that being said, with the Mike King injury, I think that's the nail in the coffin for Juan Soto for us. And I think we're going to go all in on Luis Castillo and David Bednar, and then another depth piece in the outfield. But I think that's shifted the focus 100% to the point where it's now only pitching. And I think, if I'm being honest, that's what I would do now. And if I'm also being honest, I'd be upset if we got Soto, with that being said.
I would not be upset with Soto. There's no way to be upset with Soto.
No,
I do
but you know
think
what I
it's
meant.
fine.
I actually
do know.
wouldn't. I wouldn't be really upset, but there are a lot of cons to signing Soto because of the fact that we now have Mike King and Luis Severino size holes, and only I feel like David Bednar and Luis Castillo can fill those.
I'll tell you what, there's one guy that I'm absolutely loving right now, and that is Gregory Soto from the Tigers. That's
Yeah.
a guy that I think should be on a radar, and obviously he's on every contending team's radar. He's one of the best relievers in the game, represent them in the All-Star game, and he's got cool hair.
And he closes games too.
He's very good.
Yeah.
But all jokes aside, he's very, very good. I think that's a guy that could slot into the eighth inning seamlessly, and he would be excellent on this team. He'd be a huge get. He would cost a lot, obviously, but I think he is a necessity. I think you need to add a bullpen arm, but I'll let Damon go, and then I will touch on my rounding third presented by TickPick, that because mine is also bullpen related.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Rella there. As nice as a pickup as Juan Soto would be as a for generational player right now, I don't know. It obviously is huge. I mean, there's no way to hype up Juan Soto more. I mean, he's probably going to be one of the best players ever played baseball. And he would be a huge asset to the team, no question about it. But with the recent Mike King injury, with Severino, with just the bullpen, even the starting pitching kind of being a little off lately, there's a lot bigger holes to fill than an outfielder right now. And pitching, we said this before, I've said this before, pitching should be the main focus point of this trade deadline. And if we can somehow get some pitchers and also another bat that's not Juan Soto, then I'm so fine with that. But it's got to be something. And I think that we have to get some pitching help, because there's right now where we are struggling to kind of fill bullpen slots and get people who are confident in. And shit can happen. People can get hurt again. And if another person gets hurt in the bullpen, another big piece, we're really fucked. And we can't just wait for that to happen, because we can't just play this game and then hope that no one else gets injured by the playoff time. So we need pitching. There's no question about that. And if that means we're not getting Juan Soto, then I'm totally fine with that, as crazy as that sounds.
No, I think we can all agree Juan Soto, like, yes. It's an immediate yes. If you saw the Yankees got Juan Soto, we would all have the same exact reaction. It'd be like borderline tears. But as far as, and this is what I was trying to get at last episode, it's not that I don't want Juan Soto. It's not that I don't think he's worth the asking price. I think he's worth that and then some. I just think for this current World Series run that this team has a legitimate shot at, pitching is more of a necessity. And that I don't even think that the Michael King injury goes into that, but even before that, pitching was a huge question mark, and it all boils down to, the innings pitched by these guys. The people are getting banged up. Severino hasn't thrown in 2 years. We all knew this was coming, even if it's not a serious injury. He was going to need rest. He was going to need something because he hasn't thrown in so long. You can't miss 2 years and go throw 200 plus innings as a power pitcher. That just doesn't work. That's not how the body works. Something was bound to happen.